Hey, what's going on everybody? Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you a 1-year update on my DR Horton home. I did purchase a DR Horton home and we are right at 1 year, so I want to give you all an update on how things are going. I'll let you know if this was a disastrous purchase, if I regret it like every day of my life, or if I'm pretty happy with the way things turned out. So if you didn't see the first video, I'll link it below in the description. The first video is right when I was trying to decide whether I was going to buy the house or not. And I actually already had a home inspection and had found a bunch of things that needed to be fixed. So if you hadn't seen that video, check that out. It'll be down in the description box. All right, so one thing before we jump in I wanted to cover was the last video got a ton of views and a ton of comments, which I do appreciate. I would say 99% of the comments was like, Jason, don't buy that house, run as far away as you can. And I understand why people were saying that, because if you look at DR Horton's reviews on any website, they're just absolutely horrendous. So yeah, let's just jump right in. So the first thing that I didn't like was actually at closing. So when I decided to purchase a home on the closing date, everything was going fine at closing, no surprises. And I think this is why they saved this to the very end, but the very last thing they went over made me extremely upset. Like I wasn't gonna not buy the house, but I was not happy with it. So part of the selling point to this house was that it comes with a smart home package. You get a front door camera, you get this nice little computer thing installed in the hallway. It'll open and close your garage. It'll unlock your front door because the front door has like a Wi-Fi lock to it. So it has all these really cool features that I was excited to have. But at closing, they told me that if I do not purchase a package from ADT, who I guess kind of does all this stuff, that after 3 years, everything would shut down and not work anymore. So I was really upset about that. I'm like, no, I don't need a package from ADT. I got a Ring alarm system. I'm not paying them for a monthly fee to monitor the home. So that was the first thing that really made me mad. Really got upset about that. I felt like it was one of these bait and switch things where like, hey, you get this nice smart home package, and then only, they didn't tell you the part that you had to sign up for a monthly fee or a monthly subscription before it'll actually work properly. So yeah, not real happy about that. So what I did, I just, I had them come out and install everything, and then I just took their front door camera down and put my own up, and I left the other items there. The other thing it does, it'll turn some of your lights on and off. So there's just several really cool things that I liked about it. But I've got my Ring up and happy with it. But I did let them know in the closing, I felt like that was like a bait and switch type thing, and that's why they saved it to the end after you'd signed all the paperwork to give you that bad information. So that was closing. All right, let's talk about the first night I was here. So it wasn't a good night. The very first night that I was here after buying the home, it was about 12 o'clock at night, and I'm back in my bedroom still unpacking boxes, trying to get things organized, and I start hearing this alarm go off. And it almost sounds like one of those older digital watches where it's like beep, 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 and it won't stop. And so I start looking around my bedroom like, do I have an old digital watch in one of my boxes? And I'm digging through everything, looking under the bed. Do that for like 30, 45 minutes. Then I put my ear up to the wall because my bedroom, the other side of the wall is outside. So I start listening. I'm like, that's coming from outside. And then I remembered, so what DR Horton does is before you close on your house, the general contractor will walk the whole house with you and tell you like little maintenance things like, hey, you should pour Clorox down your air conditioner drain, pump, whatever it is, once a month. And, they just tell you different little things like that. And one of the things I remember him telling me was my house is set up with a pump for your, dirty water and toilet. And when you flush the toilet, that all goes out to like this holding tank right outside my bedroom. And when it reaches a certain level, the pump cups on, grinds it up and shoots it out to the sewer. I guess the sewer was a little bit too far away, and that was required for us to be able to get on the city sewer. So I remember him showing me there was an alarm out there that if that thing ever the pump wasn't working, the alarm would go off, and that I needed to immediately let somebody know. So my very first night, that alarm is already going off. So I'll go out there and shut it off because he did show me where the stop button was in case it ever goes off. And then when I got back inside, I noticed there's like a buzzing noise. and it was coming from the electrical box. And I'm like, what is that buzzing noise? So I'm like, okay, well, I got 2 things here to report to him. But luckily I was able to go to sleep because I silenced the alarm. So the next day, the guy came out for the, well, first of all, the electrician came out for the buzzing. So I put in a ticket, and I had the phone number to the general contractor, and I called him and told him what happened my first night. And he immediately got on the phone with the electricians and the people that do the pump, got both of them out here. But the electrician showed up first, and they literally couldn't figure out what it was. They changed out some breakers, put some new ones in, and they're like, hey, try this, see if it works. And like literally 5 minutes after they left, it's buzzing again. So I'm like, that didn't work. So then the pump guy comes out and the pump's dead. I'm like, well, how's a brand new pump that, was just installed dead? But it doesn't matter, it was dead. He replaced it, and the electricians were out at the same time because they were trying to figure out the buzzing sound again. They came right back out that same day. And then lo and behold, when the guy fixed the pump, the breaker started working. So it was obviously the breaker for the pump that was buzzing because the pump wasn't working. So either way, both of those items got fixed. Happy about that. But and I knew moving into the house or my brand new home, there might be some little things here and there, as long as my roof wasn't falling in or anything crazy. I'm okay going through a few of these. All right, so I got a list over here of other things that I wanted to kind of tell you all about. All right, so probably the one that really frustrated me the most was my smoke alarms. So right after I bought the house, like a month later, I'm laying in bed asleep, and at 3 a.m, my smoke detectors start going off, all of them. Wakes me up, scares me half to death. I'm like, dang, is my house on fire? What's going on here? I don't smell smoke, don't see anything. So I'm like, all right, something. And the smoke detectors were going off. They go off for like 20 seconds and then stop. And then a couple minutes later, they would start doing it again. So it was very, very annoying. So filled out a ticket for DR Horton, and got they responded within 24 hours. So all of my tickets that I've had through DR Horton where I've had an issue, they have always responded within 24 to 48 hours, except for one, and we'll talk about that in a minute. So anyway, the alarm people came out here, they replaced a couple, or the smoke detector people came out and they replaced a couple of the smoke detectors, and it seemed to work for another month. And then they started doing it again. So I called back, they sent another person out, he replaced a couple more, did a few things, like, okay, you should be good. I think it was 4 or 5 months later, they started doing it again. So I started getting frustrated. I put in another ticket, and I put in the comments that, hey, my 1-year warranty is about to run out on this stuff. I need somebody to fix this. And DR Horton picked up the phone, the customer service folks or whoever it was, the warranty people, picked up the phone and called me and was like, hey, we're going to get this fixed. I'm so sorry this keeps happening. I do see this is like your 3rd ticket you put in for this same issue. And she's like, I just wanted to apologize to you, but we will be sending a supervisor from the company that installed the smoke alarms out there. So they sent the supervisor guy out. He was really good. He changed every single one of them and just put brand new ones up. And that's been like, I think a month or two ago, and I haven't had any issues. So fingers crossed, that's not going to happen anymore. And that was probably one of the biggest issues I had. That was it was frustrating. And every time they went off, it was 3 a.m. and woke me up. The next thing we have is, so I had a bunch of ghost doors. If you're not familiar with ghost doors, that's when you open the door to like your bedroom and it slowly like halfway closes or closes all the way. Like they came out and fixed that the same day that I put the ticket in on that. Like he came out, just did a couple little things and don't have those issues anymore. So I know a lot of y'all are probably curious about the roof. We did have somebody come out and inspect it after I closed, and it was fine. Thank goodness. They pushed up on a bunch of the boards, OSB boards, none were bouncing. They said they were all solid. It just looked like the people that were nailing it missed the boards, but they did come back and hit them. So they obviously noticed it. So luckily the roof is secure and safe. That was one of my bigger concerns when I bought the house. So that really ended up working out okay. So the one item that, and there's probably other little items I can't remember that I may have had to file reports on, but DR Horton, again, came out within 48 hours on all of them and made sure that they had them fixed. So, so far, I'm pretty happy with what they've done on the things that I've had. But one thing that they did not repair was the sod. So after I moved in the home, I just kept noticing there's big patches of dead sod that didn't take. And from my research, that does happen. There's going to be places where the sod doesn't take. So I filed a report on that, didn't hear anything. So I filed a report on the sod and never heard anything back. So I decided just to call the general contractor because I had his phone number, and told him, hey man, what's the deal with my sod? He's like, well, honestly, that sod is going to be fine by the end of the summer. It's just because it's brand new. He goes, the sod they put down, the good sod over here will overtake the bad sod over here, and your grass will look perfect, probably by the middle end of the summer. So I'm like, I don't know if I like that answer. This is dead sod. I want it fixed. But I did have a guy that comes out that fertilizes my grass, I think like 5 times a year. And he told me the same thing. He said, you're going to be fine. This good grass will overtake the bad grass and it'll look great. He said, just unfortunately, your yard's not going to look good until the end of the summer. But he was like, nobody's yard on this street looks good because it's all fresh sod that was put down. So sure enough, by the end of the summer, my entire grass was green. I had no bare spots and it looked amazing. So, a little disappointed they didn't come out about that. But we did get it fixed. Another issue I had just reminded me, one of the internet providers came into the development late to lay their fiber optics for internet. And when they laid them, they ended up having to rip up part of my yard and they didn't replace it. They didn't fix it. It left a bunch of dirt there. So I got in touch with the general contractor again. He got in touch with that company. They apologized, said they would come out and repair it. They never did. But again, that grass just grew right back over it and it looks perfect now. So I guess it's some amazing grass that DR Horton puts down. So those are really the only issues I've had with the house. They've all been pretty much cosmetic, easy things to deal with. I haven't had any major issues. So I'm very, very fortunate. I think maybe with what I did before I bought the home, doing all those inspections, going and talking to the neighborhood behind me that was built like a year or two ago, asking those people if they were having problems. Man, I think if you do your due diligence, get you a good home inspector, maybe even start buy your home while it's being built by DR Horton so you can watch the different phases, go up, and maybe have somebody who's knowledgeable come out there and be like, yeah, this all looks good, or no, they shouldn't have done that. I think you would be fine. I think for DR Horton, it sounds like to me that they know they have a bad reputation and they're trying to do everything they can to make it better. And for me, in the end, I'm pretty happy with it. So, because I was very nervous going in, I thought, hey, this is probably a bad idea buying a DR Horton home, and it might still be, but a year in, they fixed everything. All right, if y'all have any questions, be sure to drop them below in the comments. Be sure to like, comment, and share the video. Really appreciate it.